I still remember the sound of her suitcase wheels against the hardwood floor, that hollow, dragging sound, like something leaving that was never meant to. She didn't slam the door. She didn't cry. She just said she needed space. And somehow that hurt more than any goodbye could. Our apartment sat on the 12th floor, overlooking a restless city. From the balcony, you could see the lights flicker between buildings like tiny, pulsing hearts. For years, I thought those lights were beautiful, like a promise. That night, they just looked tired. Her name was Lena. She used to hum when she cooked, little half melodies, never full songs. The sound used to fill the apartment, soft and careless. Now the silence where that sound used to be feels almost violent. We'd been together for 7 years, married for 3. The first few were golden, messy, loud, alive. But lately things had changed. Dinner got quieter, her eyes wandered more, and she smiled less. The first time I felt something slip was a Tuesday. She came home late, said traffic was bad. I believed her. I wanted to. Her perfume hit before she even walked in, not the one I bought her, the light jasmine she loved. This one was stronger, muskier. It didn't belong to her, or maybe it did now. Rough day? I asked. She nodded, tossed her bag on the couch, scrolled through her phone, and said nothing. The screen's glow painted her face in blue light, cold and distant. I wanted to reach for her hand, but stopped halfway. It felt like reaching across an ocean. Days passed in a blur of almosts. Almost laughing at dinner, almost talking before bed, almost saying I love you and meaning it. She started sleeping facing the wall. I started sleeping with my eyes open. One night, I woke to the sound of her phone buzzing on the dresser. The screen lit up just long enough for me to see the name, Cal. No last name, just Cal. A clean, simple name that suddenly felt like a blade. I didn't open the phone, didn't need to. The way she stirred, pulled it close, turned it face down, that was enough. Morning came with burnt toast and forced smiles. I tried to ask about us. She said I was overthinking. Said she just needed space. That word again, space, as if love was something you could measure in square feet. Space from what? I asked. She didn't answer. Just looked out the window, watching a couple walking below, their laughter rising up between the buildings like something cruelly alive. That evening she packed. No shouting, no anger. Just quiet, efficient movements, shirts folded, drawers emptied, silence heavy enough to crush the air. When she zipped the suitcase, I heard something final in the sound, like a lock clicking shut somewhere deep inside my chest. I just need time to think, she said softly. I nodded, because what else do you do when someone you love looks you in the eye and tells you they're already gone? She kissed my cheek. It was polite, like a thank you, then she left. The elevator chimed, the hallway light flickered, and just like that, it was just me and the city and the echo of her absence. That night, I didn't turn on the lights, didn't eat, didn't move. Just sat on the floor by the window, watching the city breathe. It's strange how loud silence can be. The fridge hummed, pipes clicked, somewhere below a siren cried, and I just sat there, listening, trying to find her in the noise. At 2:13 a.m. she texted, "I'm safe, don't wait up." I typed 3 words back, I wasn't going to. Then deleted them. The next few days were a blur of echoes, her coffee mug still on the counter, her hair tie on the doorknob, her scent still trapped in the pillows. I told myself she'd be back soon, that she just needed time, but even lies start to sound tired when you repeat them enough. By Friday, I noticed something strange. A photo was missing. The one from our trip to the coast, the 2 of us on the pier, sunburned and laughing. I found the frame face down on the shelf. The glass cracked. Her half of the photo was gone. She'd taken it, left mine behind. I went to work, came home, went to sleep. Days bled into each other like rain on glass. Sometimes I'd think about texting her. Sometimes I'd even type it out. Are you okay? Do you miss me? Will you come home? But I never hit send. Because somewhere deep down, I already knew the answer. One evening, about a week later, I came home to find her keys on the counter. No note, no call, just the keys, cold metal, perfectly placed, like she'd wanted me to find them. And then her scent again, faint, recent, she'd been there while I was gone. I walked into the bedroom, drawers half open, closet door ajar, one of her scarves on the bed, the one I gave her last winter, except now it smelled different. That same musk, that same Cal. I sat down, scarf in hand. The city buzzed beyond the window, 1,000 strangers moving forward, unaware that my world had quietly ended. And for the first time, I let myself say it out loud. She's not coming back, is she? No one answered, only the sound of the city, humming, indifferent, alive. But somewhere beneath that hum, I swear I could still hear her voice. Faint, laughing, fading into the night. The apartment stayed the same. The same furniture, the same lights, the same walls, but everything had changed. I started sleeping with the balcony door open, even in the cold. The city air filled the apartment, sharp, indifferent, alive. I needed it. Needed something to remind me that the world outside was still moving, even if my own heart had stopped. Her scent lingered in the hallway, not from a pillow or scarf, but from nowhere and everywhere all at once. It was in the corners, in the air vents, on the doorknobs, a reminder that she had been here and I had missed it. I began noticing the traces, small, almost imperceptible things at first. A message notification from a mutual friend, vague, casual, but the way she hesitated when she mentioned Lena, I could tell there was something unsaid. The way the barista at the cafe asked if I'd seen her lately. The way the city seemed to whisper about her, streets, lights, faces. And then I saw him, not in person, not yet, but in pictures. She didn't mean for me to find them. I wasn't looking. They appeared anyway. Social media, that endless window into everyone else's lives. A photo of her smiling, her hair perfectly in place, eyes alive in a way they hadn't been with me, leaning against someone I didn't know. Cal, that clean, simple name. They looked happy, the kind of happy that makes you nauseous when you've been left in a silent apartment, eating cold pizza for dinner. I wanted to scream, wanted to burn the phone, wanted to pull the walls down and yell at the city itself. But I did none of those things. Instead, I did what I do best when everything falls apart. I watched, from the corners of my apartment, from the hum of the street below. I let the silence speak. Sleep became a stranger. I lay in the dark for hours, counting the flickers of streetlights across the ceiling. Sometimes I imagined her coming back. Sometimes I imagined her staying gone forever. The city moved on without me. The hum of traffic, the occasional siren, the murmur of people walking home in the rain, all of it a cruel lullaby. One night I went through our apartment, drawer by drawer, closet by closet. I wanted proof. Proof that she had loved me once. Proof that she had cared. I found old letters, scribbled notes on napkins, receipts from coffees, tickets to movies. I held them close, cried quietly into them. Because it wasn't the big betrayals that hurt the most. It was the small ones, layered over years, that made the fall so sharp. And then in a hidden pocket of her bag, I found a photograph, one of them. Cal and her closer than anyone should be allowed, their faces pressed together like they owned the world. I wanted to throw it. I wanted to burn it. I wanted to scream until my voice left my body, but instead I folded it. Laid it carefully on the kitchen counter, because I realized something in that moment. Anger would only make me smaller. The weeks passed. She never called. She never wrote, but her presence lingered like smoke. I'd sit on the couch at night, staring at her favorite mug, the way she always arranged the cushions, the hum of the fridge, and I'd remember her. Not just the good parts, not just the laughter, but the way she left, the way she erased pieces of me without ever touching them. And then I noticed the small victories. I started walking to work instead of taking the subway. I started cooking again, simple meals, nothing fancy, nothing she would notice. I started listening to the city in a way I hadn't before, the way rain hits the pavement, the low roar of a passing truck, the footsteps in the stairwell. I realized that grief wasn't just an absence. It was a presence, a teacher, a mirror. One evening I was sitting on the balcony, nursing a mug of coffee that had long gone cold when I saw him. Not in person, not yet, but through the reflection of the window. Cal, he was tall, broad, comfortable, confident. She leaned into him in a way she had never leaned into me, casual, trusting, alive. I felt a flicker of something inside me. Anger, hurt, desire to fight. No, none of that mattered anymore. It was something quieter, something sharper. Understanding, acceptance, and a small, burning sense of clarity. Because seeing him, seeing them together, made something inevitable painfully clear. She had left. She had moved on. And I had a choice. The city continued to hum around me. I took deep breaths. I let the air fill my lungs. Let the silence fill the apartment. And then a message. Her name appeared on my phone. Lena. My heart stuttered. I hadn't heard from her in weeks. She wrote, "Can we talk?" "Please." I stared at it for a long time. My thumb hovered over the screen. Do I answer? Do I ignore it? Do I even care anymore? The night stretched around me. The city lights flickered in the distance. The rain tapped gently against the balcony glass. I finally typed back 3 words. When? The knock at the door was soft. Too soft. I didn't move at first. The city hummed behind me. The apartment was dim, only the balcony lights painting long stripes across the floor. I waited, heart in my throat, hands tense. Then another knock, softer, hesitant. "Lena," I said, voice brittle. It felt strange to say her name aloud again, like it belonged to a past life I wasn't allowed to revisit. The door opened, and there she was. Her eyes were red, puffy. Her hair hung in damp strands around her face. She looked smaller somehow than I remembered, not broken, just fragile. "Can I come in?" she whispered. I hesitated. Part of me wanted to slam the door. Part of me wanted to throw myself into her arms and never let go. Part of me just wanted to watch her cry. I stepped aside. She crossed the threshold slowly, like she was afraid the apartment itself might judge her. The silence between us was heavy. I wanted to speak. I wanted to scream. I wanted to disappear. Instead, I watched. She dropped her bag by the door. Her fingers lingered on the handle. Her eyes moved to the living room, the balcony, the kitchen. Everything was unchanged, and yet it wasn't hers anymore. She began, then stopped. Her voice cracked like old paint. I shouldn't have, I never meant. I let her struggle, let her hang in the air. I didn't offer a word, because sometimes silence says more than any apology ever could. Finally, she sat on the couch, hands clasped together, looking anywhere but at me. I made a mistake, she said softly. I thought I needed something else. Space, distance. I don't even know what I thought. Her voice trembled. I could hear the weight of her regret, heavy as water. I didn't answer. I couldn't. I only watched the way her hands shook, how her shoulders slumped, how small she seemed without the armor she carried when she left. I saw you, she said suddenly. My friends, they told me. I didn't know how to come back. I was scared. Scared of what I'd find. Scared of you. I nodded slightly, not because I agreed, but because I understood. Fear had a way of shaping choices. It didn't excuse them, but it made them human. The apartment was quiet. Rain had begun outside. Drops tapped the balcony glass in a slow rhythm, like some mournful lullaby. She looked up finally. Tears streaked her face. I don't expect you to forgive me, she whispered. I don't expect anything, Her words faltered, and then, I just wanted to see you, just once, to say I'm sorry. I moved slowly, not toward her, not away. Just observed her. Lena, I said, my voice quiet, careful. You left. Her gaze fell. Yes, she admitted. I left, and I hurt you, I know that, and I'm sorry. I felt something stir, not anger, not relief, something quieter. A recognition that love can survive even when it's broken, even when it hurts. You can stay, I said softly. But just for tonight. She blinked, surprised, then nodded. We didn't speak after that. We didn't need to. The rain outside thickened. The city pulsed through the windows, and for a moment we existed in the same space, fractured, fragile, but together. Hours passed. We didn't talk much. She unpacked a little, made tea, sipped it silently. I watched her. Not to accuse, not to comfort, not to punish, just to witness. Sometimes she looked at me, and I saw something familiar, a spark of the person I fell in love with, not the woman who left, not the woman who betrayed, just her. And in that moment I realized I could see her, and still not hold her. The night stretched long. We sat on opposite ends of the couch. The rain whispered, the city hummed, and somewhere deep inside me, I felt the first faint stirrings of peace. Not joy, not relief, just clarity, that she had returned, that I had survived, and that some things are bigger than love. Some things are about letting go. Morning light spilled through the blinds in thin, hesitant stripes. The apartment smelled faintly of tea, rain, and the lingering trace of her. Everything felt quiet, not empty, just suspended. I watched her sleep for a long time, curled slightly, hair damp from the night's rain. Her chest rose and fell in slow rhythm. No one had ever looked smaller and yet so alive. I sat on the balcony, the city waking below me. Horns, footsteps, the faint clatter of coffee cups. The world moved on, as it always did. She stirred, eyes blinking open, hazel catching the morning light. Morning, she whispered. Her voice was soft, careful, as if even speaking might shatter the fragile truce between us. I nodded, not saying much. No need. She looked around the apartment, the furniture, the coffee mugs, the scarves, and hesitated. I should go, she said finally. I didn't respond immediately. I wanted to reach out, to beg her to stay. But something inside me said no, not because I didn't love her, because love sometimes means letting go. I know, I said quietly, and that's okay. She packed slowly, methodically, hands trembling just slightly, every movement measured. Every motion a quiet apology. We didn't speak much. No recriminations, no desperate pleas, just a shared understanding. Some things cannot be repaired, some bridges cannot be crossed. When she zipped her bag and stood by the door, she looked at me one last time. Her eyes glistened, unshed tears hovering. I'm sorry, she whispered, for everything. I wish I could take it back. I swallowed, nodding. I know, I said. And I forgive you, but we're done. She hesitated as if weighing 1,000 unspoken words, then exhaled and walked out. The apartment felt empty afterward, not because she was gone. Because letting her go left a hollow I didn't expect. I walked to the balcony and looked at the city below. The streets were alive, traffic, pedestrians, morning routines. Life continued, and so would I. I thought of the photo I had found weeks ago, her and him. I smiled faintly, quietly to myself, not with joy, not with bitterness, just with acceptance. She had made her choices, I had made mine. I went inside, moved the coffee cups to the sink, straightened the cushions, and let the apartment breathe. The light changed, shadows shifted, and in that quiet, suspended moment, I understood something fundamental. Love and pain can coexist without reconciliation. The city hummed around me. The balcony door clicked softly in the wind, and for the first time in weeks, I felt whole. She left twice, once with him, and once when I finally let her go, and that was enough. Let her go, and that was enough.